What if your customers are trying to find your business online, but instead of finding you, they find your competitors? Now, more than ever, it's time to make sure you have the right SEO to make your business stand out online. Welcome to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by...
Okay, well, I guess we're going to have audio issues today, too. Okay, well, welcome to Go Mind Your Business. My name is Terry Bork, and I am super excited to be with all of you again here today. I apologize about mic issues. Life is going to happen when you work in real online type situations. Today, I have an amazing, wonderful guest with me who's going to be talking about how to make money blogging from home, freelance writing, publishing your ebook, and really being able to live a life that you truly desire for yourself. Her name is Leslie Truex. She's an amazing woman who I had an opportunity to meet at a conference and who I've known about for quite some time, and she's amazing. Leslie Truex is an idea-phoic writer, speaker, entrepreneur, social worker, fitness instructor, and a mom trying to do it all from the comfort of her home. She's the author of several books, including Digital Writer Success, How to Make a Living Blogging, Freelance Writing, and Publishing Online, and Jobs Online, How to Find and Get Hired to Work at Home Jobs. She freelance writes about working from home, telecommuting, small business, writing, parenting, and fitness. And her articles have appeared on entrepreneur.com, Yahoo, Small Business, Live Strong, and more. She speaks and she teaches courses on freelance writing and publishing, and she's appeared on The Daily Buzz, CNN.com, Women's World, Redbook, and Today's Parent. And her alter ego is a fiction writer with self-published mystery series and a 3-book deal with a traditional publisher. So without any further ado, please help me welcome Leslie Truex to our program. Hi, Leslie. How are you today?
I love that.
So welcome to our program today, Leslie. How are things going?
Very busy, very busy. I'm glad the new month is starting because it's been crazy this month, but that's good. It's better to be busy than bored.
That's really, really true, Leslie. And I don't know how you have time to do all of those things in your daily routine and still have the opportunity to talk with us today. So thank you so much for taking out some time for us today. Thank you. And congratulations on your new book.
Thank you. I was very excited to get it done and get it out to the world.
Oh, fantastic. You know, I think it's awesome that, you know, there's such an awareness today about really wanting to work from home and bringing income into your family, but not having to give up that piece of you where you want to be a provider and of financialness to your household. Or if you're a single mom, being able to still be with your kids and be that mom, but still be able to support yourself. And I think it's so great that you have so many avenues to share with people on how they can truly make a work at home a reality in their life.
Yeah, and I think as the internet has grown and expanded in opportunities, it's much easier now, which is not to say that it's simple. It does take a lot of work. But when I started, there weren't very many different things people could do from home, and now that has changed. And I really believe anybody who really wants to work from home can make it work if they just find the right thing for them and do what needs to be done.
Yeah, it's really important. And, you know, I remember a long time ago when my kids were small, I used to have to bring them to daycare, and, you know, their teachers got to tell me, you know, what my child learned today, what they accomplished, their firsts, all the firsts that were met. And, you know, I found that as a parent to be so sad, because it was like, wow, well, how do I make that personal for me? And how do I enjoy those first moments? And then I decided to say, I'm going to make those first moments when it shows up for me and not when it shows up at the daycare.
Right. The first for me, right.
Yeah. So that's what I had to do. And I remember, dropping them off at daycare and things like that as I went to a traditional job. And when my employer a long time ago offered me the opportunity to be a work-at-home parent, I was so excited because I didn't ever put that in a realm of possibility for myself. And so many employers, big employers now, are actually coming on board and offering opportunities to people to truly have the same job that they would, but they wouldn't have to carry the wardrobe and put the gas in the car and things like that, but they can do the same job from home. It's awesome.
Right, I agree. And, I'm never one to say you should be home with your kids or whatever. I think that's obviously a personal choice. But I know for me and for a lot of women out there, maybe even dads out there, it is difficult to leave your kids at daycare. It is difficult to spend a lot of time sitting in a car and doing all the things that are required for a job. So the fact that working at home is much more prevalent now. It's easier now. And you're right, a lot of employers are turning to telecommuting. There's a lot of new companies out there that just don't want to have the overhead, and they're going out and starting completely virtual. So the opportunities are there for people who want it, and of course, not just for parents. I mean, I've got a lot of retirees and baby boomers that come over to work-at-homesuccess.com as well. I even have college students, they need to make some extra bucks and don't want to go wait tables or something. So it's really open to a lot of people.
That's so true, Leslie. And, I want to talk about work at home success for a minute. Leslie has an amazing website called workathomesuccess.com, and it's filled with so many tips for, people who are looking to break into this area, as well as opportunities that she knows that are real opportunities out there for you to get employment, instead of just, thinking you're getting on with a job only to find out it's a scam. You don't want to do lick envelopes all day. You're not going to get paid for that. But you really want to find something that's going to bring value into your life and support you, because the ultimate goal is to truly live a life that you desire and something for you. So tell me more about work at home success and how others can find some success over there, Leslie.
Well, work at home success actually started a long time ago. It's about 18 years old. Well, 1998. So I guess it's about 18 years old now. And it too, if you go back, it has just changed because so many opportunities come along. And when I started it, I might post one job a month. Today, over 70 jobs go up a week. And each day I search for 10. On Fridays, about 30 goes up. My Canadian friends get a few on Friday as well, because telework is all over the world now, actually. And, my goal is to have them see, all the types of different opportunities. There's jobs for teachers and nurses and bookkeepers and customer service, and there's just all sorts of opportunities. But the other thing I hope people get there is that they will learn what working at home is, because the best way to avoid a scam is to know what to look for and avoid when you're looking for work at home jobs. And that's where people really get stuck, is they go to Google and type in work at home, and they see something that's just sign up and we'll pay you money, and that's where they get into trouble. So the site is really also providing information to help people evaluate when they come across other jobs, because I don't post them all, obviously. They can go find some of their own, but how can they know what's legit, what's not legit? And I try to provide that as well. And other work at home options, not just jobs, but for people that might want to start a home business or build an online business, they'll find information about that there as well.
And I think that's really exciting too, Leslie, is that, there's so many different types of models for you to do when you are in a work at home capacity, and the sky's really the limit. And, I know for myself, I created my own work at home opportunity. I didn't know what I was doing. I just started. So, and it morphs itself into its own thing over time, which is also great. You don't always have to know everything, but it's great to know people to go to so that you can learn and reach out. And, that's what an online community is for. That's, how we met, learning how to do more things and grow our businesses. So it's amazing what's out there. So.
Right. I definitely do not do today what I had started to do, and I'm constantly evolving. I like that. I like changing and doing new things. I've interviewed a lot of people who made the decision they were going to do one thing and they still do it after all this time. But I'm not like that. I do switch things up. I like to change. And that's the great thing about working at home, is once you've designed a career once, you can do it again.
Yeah. Oh, so very, very true. Well, I want to transition over a little bit from, work at home success and really start talking about, one way that folks might find enjoyable in working from home. And that is part of your new book and, really writing and how you can be profitable writing. So can we switch over to that a little bit?
Sure can.
Okay, fantastic. So tell me a little bit about what made you decide to write this new book about, profiting while you're blogging.
Okay.
What it's about.
Well, basically, it came about because this is essentially how right now I'm making money. I've got blogs, I do freelance writing, and I write books, and most of it's done online. And there really was no resource. I mean, there are blogging resources, there are freelance writing resources, there are ebook resources, but there was none that sort of put them all together and said, here's how you can do it online, and here's how they can work together online. Because a blog is not only an opportunity to make money, but it's an opportunity to showcase your writing, which can lead to books, which can lead to freelance writing. And they can all work together. And so my goal was to provide a book that did that. So if somebody just wanted a blog, they would get that information. But my goal is to show people, how you can make it. Because writing is one of those things that actually can be kind of difficult. And you should have multiple streams, I guess, would be the best way to do it. Putting all your eggs in a blog basket could be dangerous, because who knows what will happen with that topic. Google will change its algorithm, and then tomorrow nobody finds you anymore. So that's really what the book is.
That's fantastic, and I know a lot of people wonder, is it really possible to make money writing from home? Is there a specific format that works best maybe for that right now, or is it a multitude of things?
Well, I think it varies. I think one of the things about the digital world that we've seen is it does bring the price of things down while creating opportunity. So there's a lot of opportunity for writers, but they're may not being paid what writers used to be paid. So writers who had been writing a long time ago, that's been very frustrating to them. For new people entering the internet and getting online, it's very nice to see all the opportunities out there. And sometimes you start small and you build up to higher paying work. It is out there. Getting started can be a challenge. You do need to be able to write, but you do not need a degree in writing per se to do that. And like I said, sometimes it does help, because writing is a strange beast, to have multiple ways to earn income from your writing. So maybe you're selling freelance articles to a media site, but maybe you're also freelancing writing content for another website, like ghostwriting for another blogger or something like that. It keeps it diverse, it keeps it interesting, and then it also makes sure if one income dries up that you're not stuck not having any income at all.
Oh, that's awesome advice, And, when I noticed with writing, there's different ways that people write. Some people have comparison websites where they're comparing products that maybe you can find at Sears or something, where you're going to compare one tractor to another, for example. I know tractor's a terrible example, but you got these widgets that are the same, and, we're going to compare, this model versus that model. Or we have other people that write for food, and they talk about their experiences and what they make, and maybe they get picked up by Pillsbury or something like that, and how they're using those types of things. There's so many different ways. Is there an arena that people should look into, that one's better than another, or is it what you're passionate about? How is best to choose that kind of a media?
I think first you should start with something that you're passionate about and feel like you have a lot of stuff you can write about, because blogging is harder than people think, because you're constantly coming up with content that other people are going to want to read. So if you have an interest and knowledge around it, a passion, that always helps. But the second part of that is it needs to be a topic that other people want to know about. So if I love tractors and I'm writing about tractors, but nobody else cares about tractors, it's going to be hard to make money from that. So along with having a topic you know and love, it should be a topic other people also know and love. They're coming online and wanting to find information about it. And the third thing would be there's actually a way to make money from that. You can't count on Pillsbury to show up and say, hey, we want to sponsor your blog. So you have to look for other options, whether it's through affiliate, through sponsors, through selling ads, through writing your own cookbook, all those different monetization options that are there. So it's really those three things. You like the topic, other people like the topic, and there's actually a way to make money from the topic.
Oh, excellent advice, and I think it's so important for people to understand that piece. And in your book, you really break this down so easily for folks to understand. And, it was great for me. Some of it was refresher for me, but other parts of it were, wow, that really makes sense. I never looked at it from this perspective. So I love that. And then I love the fact in your book, you really share with people, hey, you're talking about this subject, and here's another product that closely works with your product.
Right.
Here's a way for you to bring it in and introduce it to your audience with an opportunity on the backside to get paid. And you go into that in great depth. And that's something that I truly think is an amazing feature of your book. So you open people's eyes to new things that are possible, especially if you're new in this market. So good job on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, now when you're doing your blogging and things like that, is there a certain amount of times per week that you think people should be posting onto their blog so they can be found? Or is there secrets to that people need to know about?
I think it's partly depending on what you're writing about. For example, if you were writing like a stock or day trading blog, you might need to write every day because that adjusts every day. Whereas if you had a chocolate blog or a tractor blog, you might get away with posting 2 times a week. So part of it depends on your topic. It depends on your market. At Work at Home Success, I post a lot, and I'm actually re-looking at changing the schedule. The jobs will continue to go up as usual, but the articles may adjust because, when I look at my data, it's like, it might be too much. And I might be, which is nice, because writing 5 articles a week or arranging 5 articles a week is kind of hard. Over Digital Writer Success right now, I'm only posting 1 a week, and I'm looking at making that maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But a lot of that just has to do with your market and your topic and kind of deciding, what works. The whole thing is about getting traffic to your website. So, how often do they want to see the types of stuff that you're writing is really the answer to that. But you don't want to do it not enough either. You don't want people to come back and see the same article that was there the other day and not have it have been updated because they'll go find somebody else.
Right, that's true. Yeah. Very good point. And then, to go along with that, does it matter if people are posting on like a Blogger where it's a free blog, or should they really have their own website so they can have control of it?
Well, all the people I know that make significant income from blogging do own that. They have a hosting and they, have all that kind of stuff that they own. They're not using a free site. With that said, if somebody, just doesn't have the money to get started, or maybe they're not even sure that blogging is what they want to do, Blogger is a good place to start because, first of all, it's owned by Google, so it's really easy to integrate like AdSense into it. It's fairly easy to use, and it's easy to migrate over to something else if you think, okay, this thing's working, I'm gonna go ahead and step it up and try to become a professional blogger. But if you're really looking at, I want to make a living, you need to look at, eventually you have to own everything and make it your own. So it looks different, and it is different, and it fits you.
Oh, awesome point there. I want to transition away from the blogging format for a minute, because another thing that you talk about in the book is freelance opportunities that people can do. And I wonder if you can take a moment. I know you break it down heavily in the book on what freelance opportunities are, but could you share with our audience a little bit about why someone would want to do freelance opportunity work?
Well, one reason is you make money, but for me, how I got started in it is I'd rather get paid to market my blog than not get paid to market my blog. And freelance writing is a way where my articles show up on somebody else's website. It's got my bio. It's got my URL, my website address on it, and they've paid me to write it. So it's sort of like a double duty. You know, not only am I getting the marketing exposure, but I'm getting paid to write it. So whenever I can get paid to do something versus doing it for free, many people blog for free, and I guess blog for free sometimes too, but I'd rather get paid. So that's how I really got started in looking for opportunities to share my expertise, but also get paid for that. So if you have a blog, that's a really great way to try and market your blog. Now, if you just like to write and you like a lot of topics, or you're knowledgeable about a lot of topics, there are a lot of opportunities out there to get paid to write for other places. And some of them might pay you regular, like, I want you to write an article for me twice a week, every week from now on. And some of them work maybe like the magazines, where you might pitch an idea and say, I want to write this for your website. And then if they take it, you would get paid for it.
Awesome.
I hope that answers your question.
Oh, it really does. I was trying to come off mute. I apologize. You know, that's awesome information. And I know that, that might be intimidating to a lot of people who are first getting started. But I think if you really understand your topic and there's a want out there for that need, that you might find immediate financial success from investigating that type of opportunity. Is it hard to break into that, Leslie?
Well, it depends. You know, obviously the lower paying markets are a little bit easier to break into than the higher paying markets. But if you're very knowledgeable about it and you can write well, you know, one thing about the internet, well, for a long time, the writing was very short. So you would write 400 or 500 words. And that's usually pretty easy to do, especially if you're knowledgeable. We're starting to see longer format articles on the internet, and they tend to pay a little bit more. I try to tell people, you know, don't do it for free and don't do it for too little. If you want to be a professional writer, you need to command a professional, you know, price. With that said, you need to be delivering a professional product. So you do need to be able to string words together in the way that whatever the site is wants to see them. And some of them have very specific rules about length, about knowledge of SEO. It might be tone. You know, some websites are snarky. Some of them are very professional. So all of those are all the things you would take into consideration.
Excellent advice, Leslie. Thanks. You know, one of the last pieces that you talk about in your book is ebooks, and they're becoming quite the rage. Is this a good medium for people to look at who are trying to get starting in a writing career?
Well, I think all things related to working at home, you know, they're great ideas, but it's, you know, these days it's very crowded. So your success will depend a lot on the quality of what you're putting out and your ability to reach your market. One of the nice things about ebooks is if you really look at successful bloggers and you look at what they're doing, not only do they have a blog, but a lot of times they do now have their own product. And usually it's some sort of an ebook or e-course or something like that. And of course, Amazon has changed the playing field for writers or would-be authors, because now you can have your book in their marketplace. And it's a crowded marketplace, but if you can have people find it and they like it, it is a really great way to get known. And, you know, again, it can help you promote your blog or freelance writing, or the other way around. They can all kind of work together. I enjoy writing books. And so for me, that's been really fun to have, you know, Amazon be able to do that, to make it easy to get your stuff out to the world. Plus, you can get it in print. So let's say you're a speaker or something like that, or you're going to an event. Now you have something you can hold up. I can hold up my book. Yay! You know, so, and that makes you feel good. There's nothing like holding your own book in your hand. Very cool.
So true. It's so true. I know that for me, when I was able to hold up my books and say, this is me, this is who I am, you know, come and learn a little bit about what I know, and then have other people comment to me about it. It's such a powerful tool, and it adds a lot of credibility to you as a person when you want to promote, you know, you, and then they say, well, what have you done? Why should I listen? You say, well, I'm published.
I got a book, yeah. And people are impressed with that. You know, when you say I have a book, you know, they're like, wow, you know, most people would like to write a book, but very few people actually follow through on it. So, and some people I think start and then realize that it's much more challenging than they thought. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is hard. It is hard to say, I'm going to get this out. And then I know people who say that they're working on their book and, you're like maybe 3 months later, how's it going? Oh, well, I'm still trying to put it together. And then you see them a year later and you're like, well, how's that book? Where is it? Can I get it? And they haven't even started. So, for me, I don't know. How do you tell people, like, stop in your head and start putting it to paper, pen to paper? How do you get them to take action? I know you have a section in your book that talks greatly about that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is personal in terms of, what your own schedule is, and it requires a lot of mental energy to write. I have actually started writing first thing in the morning because I know after lunch I don't do anything. That requires a lot of brain power. So I try and do all my writing first thing in the morning when I'm really fresh. For some people, that's kind of tough, because they're getting ready to go to a job or something like that. So you have to find, maybe it's your lunch break. I think you should try to write every day. Everybody has sort of their rules, but if it becomes a habit, then it becomes easier to stick to. Too many people sort of do that split and spurt method. So they'll sit down and they'll write 5,000 words and then they won't write again for 3 months. And that takes it takes a long time to write a book when you do it that way. Because when you sit down to do it again, you're like, okay, where was I? Where was I going with this? Whereas if you do a little bit, I try to write 1,000 words every morning. It's not a lot of words. It takes me an hour as long as I know what I want to say. And in February, I've written over 35,000 words. So, it adds up. If you do it that way.
Yeah, very quickly it adds up. Well, that's awesome. Awesome advice. And, little action every day. It's the journey is the first step. So you're writing and you're getting going. And once you get started, it's hard to slow it down. Fantastic advice. And, Leslie, can you hold up your book again so people can see it?
Can you see it?
It is available on Amazon, you guys. It's Digital Writer Success. And, Leslie really takes a lot of time to go through the book, go through some really great opportunities in how you can model yourself and how all three can, about something you want to do and how you can pick and choose one, two, or all of them to work in connection with each other. It's an awesome book. It was very well written. Thank you, Leslie.
I thought I would say I'm a very concrete person, so I tend to write very, number one, do this. Number two, do this. So I hope that it helps people really navigate and do what they need to do. Plus, there's a lot of resources. So me and my publisher would be very excited if anybody wanted to check it out. And I also want to say it's available in print or ebook as well. So if anybody wanted to check it out, that would be awesome.
Oh, no, it's fantastic. And, anybody can truly go out and find it. I think I have a link. Have a link somewhere that I put down. It's, I believe, gomindyourbusiness.com/blog profits is what I put it under, so they can find it there. And I will put a link in the actual show notes themselves so that anybody can go back and find it, and it is available on Amazon. You'll find a lot of Leslie's books out there on Amazon. They're all wonderful. I recommend all of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'll be able to be very, very happy and learn a ton of information from Leslie. And like I said, the online or the work at home job market is having tremendous amount of change moving forward. I think for most people, the hardest thing to do is figure out that when you do work from home, it's not all watching television all day.
Right.
It really is, work from home.
Right.
It was a hard balance in the beginning for me to figure out when it was time to do laundry and cook and clean and work. So, any advice to people, Leslie, before we part on, how to balance any work at home time?
Right. I had this image that I would have a completely clean home and do all this work, and that never happened, but mostly because I don't like laundry and I don't like cleaning, and I decided I don't want to do it anyway. You do have to strike a balance. And again, one of the nice things is the flexibility about working at home. So you can identify the best times of the day to work for you. It allows you to raise your kids or, pursue a hobby. At the same time, you have to be very diligent that you do the work. You're accountable to you and your family. You might be accountable to an employer or a client or a customer. So you have to find what works for you. I know that although I do not like getting up in the morning, I do my best work in the morning. And then I can be done in the afternoon if I want to. Other times, this month of February, I worked a lot. I worked very hard. I worked almost every day. And I don't recommend that. I do recommend that you take time off and, you know, like you would in a regular job, shut the door to your office, take some time off. But also, most people do one or the other. They work too much or they don't work enough. So you have to find that balance for you in terms of your best work times, your best work energy times, and meeting your family's needs and your personal needs.
Oh, fantastic advice there too, Leslie. I'm really excited. And like I said, guys, you'll be able to find a link to Leslie's book and learn more about it, and visit her other website too, workathomesuccess.com. You will find a ton of information over there as well on what you can do to become successful in this market. And, you know, I want to encourage you to look into that part-time, full-time, whatever it is for you, so that you can either bring in a little extra income every day, or you know, take that dream vacation that you've been saving for and not sure where that money is going to come from, or create a lifestyle for yourself. So many opportunities are available for you from work at home opportunities, right?
Yes.
Anything else, Leslie, that you want to add to that?
Just the same thing. If anybody that wants the flexibility, or, you know, I've met people who work from home and they did it by moving to a beach, or, you know, and just said, I want to live this great life, and they did it, you know. And that's the great thing about creating your own career is it, and I'm not talking mansions necessarily, although you could do that if you wanted to, but just having time for you and your family and living where you want to live and doing what you want to do. It's really awesome. I encourage you to look into it.
Oh, great advice, Leslie. Thank you. And Leslie, I want to just, you know, again, just take the time to say thank you for joining us today. It's always such a pleasure to have you on the show and talk with you and learn more about what you do and how you add so much value to the people that you touch every single day. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me. I always enjoy talking with you, so I was glad to be here.
Awesome. Great, you guys. Well, and I want to thank you all for taking the time out for listening today. I know that your time is very valuable, and the time that you share with us today was special. And I hope that you find what you're looking for in your work from home journey. And if there's anything additional information, you know, please reach out to Leslie or myself. And until next time, when we talk again, I remind you to go mind your business. Have an outstanding day. My name is Terry Bork. Thank you so much. Thanks, Leslie.
Thank you, Terry.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts. If you want to drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition, find out how by visiting our website, www.extrememarketingconcepts.com. And join Terry next time for another episode of Go Mind Your Business.